So is there an update on Tanaka?
No, there's not much to give you right now. He complained of elbow soreness. We sent him back to New York for an MRI. He had the MRI. Dr. Ahmad has not seen him. We're putting him on the DL with elbow inflammation, and until Dr. Ahmad sees him, I don't have much more for you. It seems that every orthopedic surgeon's in Seattle right now for a conference. So as soon as we can get it, we want to know as soon as we can. We just, until Dr. Ahmad sees him and has all the information, it's hard to really give you a diagnosis.
When did he first complain of any problem with that elbow?
After the game.
Did you notice anything throughout the game that was maybe an indication?
No, not necessarily. We saw his velocity was normal. We saw some really good splits and some good sliders. So, there wasn't anything that led us to believe there was anything wrong.
How worried are you?
Well, I think you're always worried, when you have a guy go back, for an elbow MRI. But you got to wait to see what Dr. Ahmad says, and then we'll go from there.
What did he say to you after the game?
He didn't say it to me. He told the trainers that he just felt some soreness. So we felt it was best to send him back and have an MRI. Unfortunately, our doctor's not there to see him right now, but hopefully we can get it done real quick.
Joe, do you think this goes back a few starts?
It's the first time he's complained.
What he's meant to this team, how big of a loss would this be?
Well, it's a loss right now because we're DLing him now. So, it would be a big loss. Anytime you lose a starting pitcher, they're hard to replace. And what he's done for us, the innings and the wins and the quality of starts, it's hard to replace. YCC couldn't see Dr. Andrew.
How much did this All-Star break factor into the decision just to DL him now?
It didn't factor at all. We would have DL'd him.
Is that the 15 or the 60? I'm sorry.
15 days.
Oh, 15 days. Okay.
The mistakes he made last night, are they any evidence of him not finishing pitches because he was sore?
I don't know. It's hard to say. As I said, I saw a lot of good pitches last night. He made a couple mistakes. Is it a result of maybe what he felt? I don't know. He didn't say.
If it happens that he is out for a long period of time, can this team survive without him in the rotation?
We're going to have to. That's the bottom line. That's our job, is to survive and keep going. Hopefully it's not long. Hopefully it's a couple weeks. We get him back. Let's see.
The immediate future, what are you going to do with your rotation now?
We're still on rotation, and Sunday is Mr. TBA. There's a lot of different things you could do. You could do a bullpen. It's the last day before the break, and you get 4 days off, so there's a lot of different things. It'll really depend on the next 4 days what happens.
Joe, considering his demeanor and toughness, for him to complain about it must be significant.
Well, I don't. It's obviously the soreness. I'm not saying it's a significant injury. I'm not saying but there's soreness, and he must have felt it was affecting him a little bit.
I noticed last night you were talking to Stevie a little bit for a long time along the dugout rail. Was that anything to do with Tanaka at that point?
No.
So did you get a chance to talk to Tanaka before he went to New York?
I talked to him last night a little bit, and I just, I asked him how he was doing. He said he's okay. And I basically said, we'll get through this. Let's just see what.
I know there's a language barrier.
Yes.
Based on what you've known of him the last few months, what did you take out of how
his demeanor was the same. It was the same as it always is.
Were you aware of whether he had any elbow injury issues back in Japan?
Well, I think he's had normal stuff with normal pitchers. If you're a pitcher, you're going to get shoulder soreness, you're going to have elbow soreness. That's just who you are. He's never really missed a lot of significant time. And that's the hard thing, you have to decide if you're a pitcher. The difference between having a little soreness that you get and you're accustomed to having injuries. It was good that he told us, right after the game, so I can get it taken care of, whatever it is.
What do you think when you're just over halfway through the season and you lost 4/5 of your rotation?
Well, it's not how you draw it up, I can tell you that. But it's part of the injuries are part of the game, and you got to deal with it.
Joe, had you considered at all possibly not starting him on Sunday just to give him a little extra rest even before you knew about this?
No, I mean, if we felt if he was fine, we were going to continue starting, but we would have given him the rest on the other side.
Did you guys decide on the MRI this morning or last night?
No, they decided last night. You know, I don't know, George.
Can you send the MRI to him?
I'm sure they will do that, but I think they always want to examine the patient too. That's the problem. It's not like it's a close flight.
Has somebody else looked at the MRI, or are you waiting for mine?
I think we're waiting for mine.
Do you know whether it was read by a radiologist who did the test?
I don't know if we take, you know, I think we got to take our doctor's answer on who reads it. Right? He's the guy that's paid to read it. I'm sure a radiologist looked at it, but I wasn't given what it is.
You get a little lucky with Gardner. He thought he might have hurt you.
Yeah, you know, Saturday he was, you know, I was planning on giving him the day off anyway Saturday because he was, you know, I thought he was a little beat up, but he was sick all night Friday night, so it actually worked out good, and he got a little bit dehydrated, and then, you know, he was throwing up, I think it was, Saturday a little bit. And, you know, yesterday after the game he complained of some abdominal pain, so I said, you know what, we'll have the doctor check it out. The doctor doesn't think it's much, day off maybe, 2 days off, and we'll get him back in there. But, you know, Girardi, I think, thought it was related to the sickness that he had Saturday. I don't necessarily think it is.
So what do you think it is? Some kind of muscle thing?
Yeah, just a little irritation. I don't think it's anything serious.
Joe, you guys are so cautious with your pitchers all the way through. What does it say about this latest injury?
Pitching is fragile. I think you have to be fortunate to have 5 starters to give you 30 starts a year in this day and age. And I can't really tell you why. It seems like happens. There seems like there's more injuries now, and it seems like we're more careful now than we ever were. And it's hard to figure out, but you know, a lot of people will say it's the damage that's done to these guys early and playing baseball one sport year round. They think that, you know, it affects them eventually, and usually affects them when they're with us.
So all this nagging stuff you guys have going on with Gardner, Beltran, McCann, is the All-Star break maybe coming at the right time for you?
Yeah. Probably wish it would have came yesterday. Yeah, but I think so. I mean, it's a real long stretch before we, you know, the break. So it's kind of rough. It's a rough patch.
You guys are likely at some point going to bring up another bat, considering the short bench. Is there a chance that Almonte sticks around when Gardner feels better?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what we do. I mean, let us get it through this week, through Sunday. We got 4 days to think about, you know, what our best roster is.
Are you still watching Beltran, or are you pretty convinced after BP yesterday he's totally fine?
No, I feel pretty good about him being in there.
Peter, just routine day.
Yeah, because if you know, I want him to play in Baltimore. We got a left-hander tomorrow, so if he doesn't get today, it's 9 days plus late flight, plus workout Monday, game Tuesday. I just think you start risking that.
Joe, getting Beltran back is one thing. How important is it for him to produce when he comes back?
Well, it's extremely important. And I thought he was swinging the bat better. I did the last week, you know, before this little incident, I thought he was swinging the bat better. So hopefully that's the sign that he's going now.
What's going right for you?
Oh, there's been a lot. I mean, there's been a lot. But, I mean, last year it was our position players that seemed to have the freak injuries, the broken hands, the wrist. This year it's affected our pitching staff. It's hard to say. But like I said, it's part of it. It's part of the game.
Joe, might be a good time to ask this. Anything new with Pineda?
He's still just playing catch. You know, like I said, I think he was supposed to throw a bullpen at the end of this week. I'll find out later today when he's scheduled.
Just one, can you share this one? Masahiro is in the disabled list, right?
He's on the disabled list.
So it means that he's not going to go to All-Star?
No, I think he can still go to the All-Star, but he won't pitch.
That doesn't depend on him. It depends on him.
Yeah,
Go or not.
I think it does. I still think he can go, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they would have replaced him if he wasn't able to pitch anyway, and you can still go.
I thought that team doesn't want him to go.
I guess this will still go. Yeah.